Hey, where's that coming from? Somehow this got messed up once about not being prepared, like always, I guess. Let's see. What is going on? External headphones, okay. Let's see. Why is that doing that?
Technical difficulties again this early in the
You
show. I
know
don't
it.
know. That's so weird though, because when we were testing it, I heard all the sounds perfectly.
Yeah, and now you're not.
Now it sounds like it's playing in a speaker on your side. It's not coming through my headset.
Yeah, because that's what it's doing.
That's coming through my headset.
But that one isn't.
Yeah, I have no idea.
This is the weirdest thing. Let me try something, guys. Sorry about this. We're professionals here, can't you tell? Oh, let's see here. That's weird. What is... Yeah, let's see here. I'm trying to... This is not working out.
Let's just go with it for now. I can hear it, so hopefully they can hear it on the recording.
Hey, okay, let's do that. Let's see here.
We can figure it out later.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, December 18th, somehow. Don't know how that is already. And we are live with some technical difficulties, as usual, on episode number 16 of the Mindless Meanderings. I'm Jesse Freeze, coming to you from Central Texas, where I really don't want to do anything today. But I have to do this, and I have to clean. So, there you go.
Well, that's why you don't want to do anything, because you got to clean.
No, yesterday was crazy.
And I'm Jamin Freeze coming at you from Eastern Kansas, where it's nice out right now. We're supposed to hit mid-40s, but tomorrow we're going to be in single digits potentially.
Woo-hoo! That is fantastic. Yeah. Single digits. Gotta love that.
And then back up into mid-50s for Christmas.
Whew. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. That's Kansas for you. Up and down, up and down.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see here. So, yeah, yesterday was crazy. I was running around every which way, putting up new TVs, putting up old TVs, everything like that around the house. So,
fun.
Yeah, trying to get ready for Christmas break. We're just sticking around the house, and the wife wanted to make sure that every one of us had a nice sized TV. So I took that and I go, well, you want a bigger TV for the spare bedroom, my office here. But the playroom, that was that's just like a 55 or a 50. So, maybe I could just get, like, playroom is like another living room. And so I'm going, well, I could just get like a 65 for there and then move the 50 from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and anytime the wife talks about needing a better TV anywhere, it obviously has to mean that you have to upgrade every room.
Well, you get one and then you just shift them all down. Well, so
and then you move the bigger one into the smaller one, and absolutely.
Yeah. So we got
every room gets the upgrade, but it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah. So now I have to find a place for our original LCD TV that we've had since, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years. It's probably going to go to the garage.
You could always send it up here. It's probably a heck of a lot better than what I've got.
It's a 720, so I don't know. It is ancient.
I right now am using a spare TV of the older brothers that he didn't need
Wow.
anymore.
Perfect.
So yeah.
No. I think I'll just put it in my garage. That's probably what I'll do. I'll have a garage TV. See? Yeah. Garage TV.
Yep.
I'll just need a garage couch. And then, I can just live in the garage. It works.
Absolutely. And I'm disappointed with your team, man. The Lions really let me down last Sunday.
Yeah, that sucked. But the Bills, I swear to God, the Bills might go all the way. They took out the two big ones.
Oh, yeah.
So,
they took out the Chiefs. They took out the Lions.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think the Bills might go all the way if they can get through. They have a really good chance of it.
The Chiefs will have to improve their game quite a bit compared to how they played this last weekend. I mean, that was bad.
Yeah, the Chiefs have been sloppy, but they've gotten lucky, really lucky. So,
oh yeah,
throughout the season. So let's see if it can hold up against like really good teams. Let's see here.
I was really hoping the Lions would pull it out, though. That would make it so that the Chiefs were closer to clinching home field advantage for the playoffs.
Right.
Oh well.
Yeah, what can you do?
Life goes on.
At least we don't have drones. There's that.
This is absolutely true. Yes. I don't have to look up in the sky and wonder what the heck is going on out there.
Yeah. The drones thing is really odd. That is one of the craziest things.
It really is. Yeah.
It's like all these conspiracy theories. Some of them are awesome. It's like looking for nuclear or that.
Yep. Talking about how there was, I heard one that there had been nuclear. I guess coming into one of the ports, they had the sensors showed that there was something nuclear coming in, but they let it in the ports anyways, and then it disappeared from the port. Yeah, and I'm like, if the port showed that it was nuclear, there ain't no way in hell that would have gotten through any inspection.
Yep. And then I loved, like, when it was first starting off, everybody was going, aliens. Ooh, aliens. And then I saw the pictures of these things. I'm going, dude, how high were you that you thought that was an alien spaceship? That's a drone. You can tell that's a drone. And wait a minute, that's a plane. Yeah. It's like,
yeah. All I have to say is if it is aliens, they're a lot smaller than I thought they were.
Right? Yeah, no.
Because, I mean, those drones are, like 50, 100 feet off the ground?
Something like that, yeah. They're not high off the ground. Some of them might be, but no. It's pure craziness. And I think just maybe for once, New Jersey people decided to look up in the air. I think that might be all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it could be something, but I don't know. It seems a bit odd to me. So,
yeah, I just find it hilarious that I'd say probably 90% of the conspiracies that I've heard about it are all linked to keeping Trump out of office on the 20th of January.
Yeah. Of course, you have to have those conspiracies like QAnon and whatnot. Yeah. No, I think everybody's pretty much happy with Trump going in. The majority of Americans like what so far the job that he isn't doing yet. So.
Yep.
Yeah, people seem to.
I mean, it's so amusing. I read an article yesterday about how Canada has now bumped up their borders with the U.S. They're starting to look at stuff going towards the U.S. in a lot harder way. All to prevent the tariffs that Trump said he would put on them if they don't stop the shit from coming across the border.
Right. Yeah, and I guess we could kind of get into it. It looks like that is part of the reason why Trudeau is in such trouble too. From what I understand, which is just hilarious.
Yep, it really is.
We can get to that one later.
Everything out of Canada is just kind of it's something that you'd expect out of a comedy show or something. I'm thinking, first time I saw it, I'm like, this isn't like Saturday Night Live, is it?
Right, right. Everything is just kind of crazy up there. Trudeau is going through, I don't know, his what was it, his financial secretary or whatever minister had decided
Yep.
to quit and everything
Yep.
like that. And
Yep.
that was
Hours
all
before having to give the report.
right, right, and that was all due to him Trudeau wanting to like increase spending beyond what the finance minister would
Yep.
want to do,
Yep.
all
Yep.
because of a way to counteract the supposed incoming 25% tariff that Trump is going to put on Canada. So actually, it all comes back to Trump. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Yeah, it really does. Everything goes back to Trump, man.
It really does. It's like Trump, Trump. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It's pure craziness up there. It's let's see
It
if
is
I can't believe he
absolutely.
hasn't resigned yet. Really, they seem to hate him up there like crazy. So
Yeah, he's not been that popular in Canada. I mean, I've heard stories about how unpopular he was ever since the truck driver strike a few years ago
oh yeah,
due
yeah,
to
COVID.
COVID.
Yep. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. So
Oh
it's
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
it is pure crazy. It's craziness up there, isn't
Yep.
it?
Well,
This,
in fact, I've heard that some of those people are starting to get in trouble because for they're talking about how they closed down the bank accounts of the truck drivers that drove to where was it that they drove to, Toronto or something? No, it
yeah,
wasn't Toronto.
no, Ottawa,
Yeah, Toronto. Ottawa,
Ottawa.
yeah.
Yeah.
They drove to Ottawa. They closed down a bunch of the bank accounts of those truck drivers and stuff, and they've been
Yeah.
laughing about it lately.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's what some of these countries that are more like America have been doing lately. It's been kind of crazy.
Oh, I know,
It's been
absolutely.
it's just been nuts.
Yep.
Well, we might as well talk about another country that's collapsing, Germany right now. Their government seems to be collapsing as well. Nobody I'm not exactly sure why it's collapsing, but apparently it's just a tight time for Europe right now. They're trying to get a trade deal with South America going,
Okay.
which is also causing the problem in France, actually, because the farmers don't want that trade deal, especially in France. Because
Uh,
if the trade deal goes through, then Europe, just like the United States, will be flooded with cheap Argentinian beef. Because
okay.
Argentina is like the largest beef producer in the world.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the farmers there just don't want that to happen. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. That's one of the big problems with you know. I don't normally have too much negative to say about international trade and stuff like that. But
Uh-huh.
when you let it affect your own farmers or industries or businesses and stuff like that, it's not beneficial to the country. I mean, sure, we may get cheaper product, but we've got how many people that no longer have jobs now?
Right, but it's not also just jobs, it's also security. What if shit
Oh
hits the
yeah,
fan, whether militarily or some disaster, and then you're
yeah,
reliant
yeah.
on food that has to go halfway across the world, you know?
Well, not only that, but I mean, if Argentina decides that they don't like us for some reason anymore,
Yep.
and they cut off the beef coming here,
Yep.
we had to stop production. We would have had to have stopped our beef production because theirs was so much cheaper, so we couldn't compete with it. And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, so we have no food anymore. Huh,
Yeah.
this might be a problem.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Just maybe so. But yeah, so things are just getting crazy over in Europe. Uh
You know,
and yeah, it looks like I heard it was just something that I heard. It was like part of the issue with Germany was that looks like they might. There's been a rumor that they might want to get out of NATO because they're getting sick of NATO, which would be interesting. That's just something I kind of heard. I don't know if that's real or not. I haven't
okay.
actually seen anything on it, but I I heard it on a podcast and you know how believable podcasts are, like ours and everything like that. Yeah, so
yes.
yeah, so
100% accurate. That's all I'll say.
100% guaranteed by me.
I guarantee that I thought that everything I said was true.
At least at the time. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like NATO also wants Europe to shift to a wartime mindset. So they want to bump up everything for spending towards the military. So
yeah, which means they want the U.S. to put in a lot more money.
No, actually, no. That's the thing. Is
really?
That yeah, the Secretary General of NATO, he wants Europe to boost their military expense, and he wants to basically divert social spending actually into the militaries, is what he wants to do.
Can any of them actually afford to do that, though?
Well, they would take it from social spending. So all the things that they give to their people.
But I mean, are the people going to put up with that?
Well, I think
mean, in some of those countries, social spending is like, people aren't working because they get money from the government.
Yeah.
So
not only that, but the EU, the whole idea of the EU was to bring Europe together and not to increase military. This is kind of like bringing a military into line is what it seems like to me.
Yeah. I mean, I know why they're doing it, and it kind of makes sense. They're afraid of Russia, of course.
Right.
In fact, in Poland lately in Poland, they've started putting a mandatory class in high schools now.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty cool.
They're teaching them how to shoot guns.
Yep. And
every single person has to learn how to shoot those guns.
It makes sense to me.
10 years old up or something like that.
Yep.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know why we don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. So that way, maybe we wouldn't have like that shooter that just went through. So
yeah.
Up in Wisconsin, but the shooter was a woman, so that just a straight up woman from everything I could tell. So or girl, really, 15 years old or something like that. But it doesn't happen very often that it's a girl. Usually it's the boys.
Yeah, there were a lot of reports at first that she was transgender, but that's kind of all been debunked now from what I've heard.
Yeah, because that's what they're going to say no matter what. Especially the people that do that. It's like no matter what, they're going to blame the transgender, and you're just going. How about you just wait, see what it actually is, people, instead of just. Yeah,
well, I heard what. I saw one guy talking about it, Ben Shapiro. He was talking about it, and he was like, you can always tell which side was doing the shooting. Mm-hmm. Because if it's a conservative side, if it's like racial or if it's something like that, the media and everything else like that are really big into it's all about racism, or it's all about homophobia, all these different things that they throw out there.
Right.
But if it's someone from a left-leaning side, the only thing you ever hear out of the media is we need stricter gun control.
Yep. That is about right. Yeah. Has there been calls for that after this one? I haven't heard anything actually on that.
There were people talking about stricter gun laws.
Well, it's not a surprise, but I haven't heard so much about it. It's
there was a few politicians that went onto the news media and were talking about it.
Got it.
Yeah, it is just the normal actors, so it's never going to be big news that they're talking about it. But
yeah. But maybe Biden will commute her sentence or give her a pardon. He seems to be doing it to everybody.
He absolutely does. I mean, almost everybody. Yeah.
What was it? 1,500 in one day.
Yeah. Yep. 1,500 in one day. All 50, and he didn't even know any of those 1,500.
Yep.
Do you know how he decided on those 1,500?
How?
He took everybody. So you remember when COVID was going strong, they
Uh-huh.
decided that they needed to empty out by some of the prisons by having them, by letting people with quote unquote lesser crimes go home and
Right.
be in home detention or whatever it's called.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, now because those people have all been home and they've acclimated themselves back into society, it's now time to commute all 1,500 of those people. So all 1,500 of those people were people that were let out of prison due to COVID.
Really? All of them.
Yes,
So,
all
huh.
of them.
So
All 1,500.
so the Chinese spies were already out.
Yep.
And the guy the Chinese guy that had all the child porn was already out.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, so okay. So what was the point of it then? Okay. It's
Well, it was purely that they have acclimated back into society, so we should no longer consider them under detention anymore. We need to let them
okay.
go free now.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah,
Interesting.
people like the Chinese with the child porn and the
Mm-hmm.
judge for the Kids for Cash program,
Right.
which I mean that's just insane. Are
Eh,
you familiar with the Kids for Cash program? What that
not
was?
really, no. No. What is that?
Okay, it happened back in 2010 was when they were arrested for it.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, there was a privately owned for-profit children's facility that the court could send children to,
Okay.
and these judges received kickbacks from this company to increase the sentences for children so that they'd have to stay there longer.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, we're talking somebody was some one kid was put into jail because he disrespected his vice principal on MySpace.
MySpace?
He got jail time for that. Yes, MySpace. A long time ago, back in this was 2000s.
Jesus Christ, MySpace. Yeah, that's hilarious.
So, you know, the now the I'm I'm somewhat on and off about the commutation of this guy's sentence because he did only have about another 3 years left on his sentence.
Right.
He was sentenced as 2010. He had a 17 and a half year sentence, so he only had about 3.5 years left on his sentence, if that. I mean,
Okay.
probably closer to 2.5.
Uh-huh.
But that's he was originally indicted for on 42 counts, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And he pled guilty to one, and that was the only one that he was sentenced for.
Huh. Odd.
They didn't even finish the trial for the other 41 counts. He pled guilty on the one, so they sentenced him to 17 and a half years. The other judge that was working with him,
Uh-huh.
he decided not to plead guilty. He decided to take it through the courts, and he was found guilty on 17 charges and has 28 year sentence.
Okay. Okay. So
So
it was a plea deal.
yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, I just to me it just strikes me odd that he only had to plead guilty to one count, and they didn't even bother with anything else.
Well, they got
But
the years out of him, so a lot of times
yeah,
that's what that's how those plea deals work. A lot of times it's just like just go for
yeah,
this one, and then we'll give you this amount of years, and then we'll just
yeah,
wipe the slate on those other ones.
yep,
So
yep. Yeah, but no, the biggest reason why it hit the news so bad this time is because there were, I think, 3 or 4 kids that were sentenced insanely long sentences that ended up committing suicide in there.
oh, okay, okay, yeah, no,
And
not
so,
surprised.
so the parents were very outraged at this, but yeah,
Right.
it's just a commutation. It's just 3 years off. I mean, he probably would have gotten that for good time anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good behavior will get a lot of sentence time knocked off of a prison sentence.
Right. 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 Yeah, no, there was a movie that kind of had. It's a recent movie. I can't even remember what it was. I watched it, but it was basically the same sort of thing where the judge and the cops were like messing around, sending people to jail for like 90 days just for a misdemeanor that would have been just a ticket or whatnot, and everything like that. Yeah, it's
Yep.
yeah, that movie sucked. I really hated that movie. You know, it was the storyline was great and everything like that,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but there was nobody died. Like it was an action movie and nobody died. I'm
Well,
like,
that's not much of an action movie.
I know, right? Because these cops were going after this one guy, right? And they were like trying to kill him and everything like that, stop him. And the guy just, he just like broke some bones maybe, and that was about it. And I'm like, well, you should have wiped out the entire police force because that was the whole point. It was like, and then at the end, half the police force turns against their sheriff. And I'm like, going, okay. It was like a 2 hour and some odd minute movie, and me and Carol at the end of it were like, well, that was a waste of our time.
Yeah.
So we found
absolutely.
And that was late. We finished that around like 11, and then we were going, well, we can't go to bed on that note, so we put in some bloody thing. Stayed up until 1 o'clock just so we could get the blood.
Got to see your killings, right?
I had to. It was like, where is the killing? Yep. You know, action movie. I expect killing. That's fake blood. This is what I want. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
But speaking of things that you really don't expect, is like the Gilligan's Space Station now. You know, they're still up there.
Yes.
And they're extending it now, I hear.
Yeah, to late March. It was supposed to be early February. They've pushed it back to late March now.
I think they might hit a year. You know. That's what I'm thinking.
It's very possible. It's very possible. Yeah, no, supposedly, according to what I've heard, the government, that's, I guess, SpaceX has redesigned a new capsule.
Right.
And the government wants them to use that one to go pick them up. So that just making sure that one's all ready to go is what's causing the delay. I don't know why they don't just send up the old Dragon capsule, why they have to set up the new one, but yeah.
Huh. Wonder what's on that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just saying.
Maybe, you know, it might just be that it has a larger crew capacity, so they can send the planned full crew staff instead of having to short them a member or two.
That could make sense. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to me that would make it understandable to delay for a month or so.
Mm-hmm,
but
definitely.
Yep. I don't know if that's what's really going on, but you know, that could be a potential reason.
It is. Yeah, definitely could be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else we got?
Let me see. You want to get into politics, or do you want to get into other stuff?
Let's finish politics off.
All right. So, you heard about Biden's work from home deal?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so Trump has been saying for a long time now that as soon as he's into office, he's going to tell all the federal employees that they need to come into the office to work or they're going to be fired.
Right.
So Biden signed something saying that for the next 5 years, these guys don't have to work from the office.
Jesus Christ.
Now, since it's something that the president just signed, I don't think it's like a contract or anything like that. Right. I think it's more of an executive order type thing. Okay. All that means is that Trump just has to put a new executive order out saying that that executive order is no longer in. But I mean,
no, yeah, that's never how it works, Jamin. If you remember, the way it works is that if an executive order goes in, if you're trying to appeal it, and this always goes to court, always does. If the next president tries to reverse it, then they'll come to court, the people that don't like it, and they'll say you didn't give enough warning, you didn't allow people to comment on it. There's all these things that you have. No, seriously, you've seen it all the time, and that's how it works. And so no matter what, it will delay things, I would say, by at least a year or two. Just with that. Yeah, because that's how it always works.
Yeah.
That is how it always works. Yep.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter and stuff talking about how they just kind of ignore it and just fire them all instead.
Yeah, but it's hard to do that with the federal government, But then again, maybe yeah, but maybe they'll be in those jobs that Elon Musk and Vivek are going to cut. Who knows?
Yep. And that would be a perfectly reasonable explanation for cutting them too.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, it's that's the one thing that I've never really understood is, I've seen so many comments about this. Well, you should just let everybody work from home because that there are some people that are more productive when they work from home, right. And that's absolutely true. But it's always up to the employer where you work from. Yes. It's not up to the employee. It's up to the employer.
Well, unless if the employee has power and has something that.
If the employee can convince the employer to allow them to do it.
Yep.
Whether it's via influence or whether it's via, just an insanely good negotiation tactic or whatever.
Oh yeah.
As long as they can convince the employer to let them work from home or something like that, then absolutely there's no issue.
Yep.
But if the employer decides we want everybody in house, we don't want to deal with all this crap, the extra crap you got to deal with everybody being out and about.
No, completely.
I'm sorry, but the employee has no choice.
Well, they do have a choice. They can find a different job.
Yeah. They have no choice. They have no choice if they want to remain there.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
The wife, she had to. There was this one guy that was working for her along with her, and they were closing down his area, and they were laying everybody off there. But he is the one guy that knows this old technology that they still use to this day. Yep. He's the one guy. Yep. Well, she saved his job because without him, they would have been shit out of luck. Yeah, so it's. Yeah. And
I have no doubt that they let him work from home if he wanted to.
Well, there's no place to work otherwise,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah,
they shut down the facility, so it's like, well, there you go.
Well, some companies would have said you have to move to where this new location, to where the office is,
right,
stuff like that, But if somebody like that, if you've got expertise in an old, antiquated system that is still essential to the job, oh yeah, you can name anything that you want, almost.
Yep, job security.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. The other thing that I find interesting was the FTC. Looks like they're banning hidden junk fees on hotels and ticket prices. So, like Ticketmaster, all those fees that they add on top of the ticket price. They give you the ticket price, and then they add all these fees. Yeah, now they're just going to have to say how much it is straight off the bat. So they can't be hidden. Same with hotels. So they can't have resort fees or anything like that.
Right.
It'll have to all be. They can, but
it'll all be all declared before. It'll be. Yep. They have to be declared before you make the purchase. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
It really does.
I have always, one thing that I would love to see happen. I don't know if it ever will. I would love to see the price that is on groceries at the store is what you actually pay for them.
Oh, you mean without tax?
Just include the tax on
that's
the price.
What I mean. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. How hard would that be to include it onto the price? Because when you're going through the grocery store, I don't know how many times I've been walking through the grocery store. It's been a while for me, but where I would like just okay. I'm sitting here calculating. Okay, $10 for this, $15 for this. I've got like $75, and I could plan it out perfectly to the point where I was like, might have $1 left.
Uh-huh.
And then you go to the cash register and you didn't total your taxes right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so now you got to be like, okay, nope, I can't buy that one. You know.
No, yeah.
I would love to just see the tax included in the price.
Yeah, but that's not how we work. It's just not how we work.
Well, I know it's not because, well, it's actually very difficult to do that because
no, it really isn't. They do it in Europe all the time. Most countries do it that way. They don't do it like we do. We're like the only ones practically.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to do.
With 90% of our prices ending in 99.
Well, that's everywhere.
It makes it. Well, it's not everywhere, but everywhere here in the U.S. definitely.
No, most countries are the same way. It's either 95 or 99. It's just.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's a psychological thing. It's not. It's because they're making the $7 except for one less penny. That's what it is. It's just that way you see that first number and you go, okay, that's not so bad. If you saw the other number, you're like, holy, it's just a psychological trick. That's all it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You see that everywhere. Yeah. I've seen it everywhere.
I really hate that psychological trick. Damn it.
Well, it's what it is. You know, it's, yeah, I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it everywhere.
I think everything should either be 50 cents or the full $1. That way, the only change you ever have to get is a quarter.
So you don't want to just get rid of pennies. You want to get rid of nickels and dimes.
I want to get rid of nickels and dimes. Yep, I simply because I hate hearing that they nickel and dimed me to death.
Yeah, that's not going to change. Just saying. And we're all going to cashless anyways. So it's
yeah.
It's to the point where I don't even know how much anything is anymore. I really don't. I just.
Yeah.
I just swipe my card. I swipe it. You know, I should pay more attention, but I really don't. It's
very, very few people do, which, you know, in most cases in some cases it's not a problem, but it's a huge problem when you're talking about swiping your credit cards because credit card debt is insane.
No, yes, it is. It is. I pay mine. We pay ours off every month. Yeah, but it's
as long as you can handle your credit cards properly, it's definitely not an issue.
Oh yeah,
but you know, I mean, the one time I got a credit card, it was bad. It was very bad.
Well,
I originally,
I know what the trick is, James. The trick is make a lot of money.
Well, yes, that always helps.
No, seriously, that's the only trick. It's like otherwise you're getting hit by all these fees, by all these things. You know, you go under on the bank, you get hit by that fee and then that fee, and then you're shit out of luck and everything like that. It's just you have to make enough money that it's just doable. It's the one trick in life, unfortunately.
Fortunately, that one credit card actually saved me from a much bigger trap.
Well, that's good.
I had gotten myself into the trap of the payday loans.
Ah, okay, yeah. Those are horrible.
Yeah, those were bad.
Yep. Those are horrible.
So I got a credit card, paid it off with the credit card, and then I just got into credit card debt and stopped paying that, and then the interest started building up on like $500, and suddenly out I'm over $1,000, and they cut my credit and everything like that. But 10 years later, they come back with an offer: give us $200, and we'll write off everything. So I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, it's I did. I had one credit card. They said the guy didn't like me or something on the phone. He goes, we're going to make an example out of you. They took me to court. and they won the whatever, right? But I still didn't pay. And then after 7 years, it fell off. And so I'm like, Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who got the example out of that one? but now I have like perfect credit and everything like that. You know, I was a poor
Yeah.
college kid, and they were just being mean to a
Yep.
poor college kid.
Yep. Yep. That's how businesses roll, especially the credit card industry.
It is. Apparently, though, I see this article you had. Walmart employees are wearing body cams.
Yeah.
What's going on with this one?
They've started it up. They've started up with a new. It's in the trial phase right now, so it's just in a few stores. But especially over the holiday season, they're doing it because I guess that there have been a lot of arguments and confrontations between employees and the customers lately, and so they've decided to put body cams on the employees to have some proof of what actually happened in those confrontations. But also they figure that with all the roaming people wearing the body cams, it might be easier to spot theft and stuff like that.
Okay.
You might be able to prove that somebody was stealing something by stuff. You know, if the person just walking down the aisle, if the camera catches them stuffing it into their pocket, then you have more evidence of the theft. So, that's what Walmart's doing. They're the first large company to do this. There have been some smaller companies that have done it, but yeah, Walmart is starting to go in with that now.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
All I know about, I don't really shop at Walmart often, but whenever I do, they always have that greeter there. And lately, the greeter wants to see your receipt. Yes. You know, as you're walking out the store, I just walk by them. That's what I do. I say, "Fuck you! You don't need to see what you think I stole. You come after me, plain and simple. That's it." I never do, but you know that I'm not going to be harassed by you. I'm not going. Sometimes it's like 10 customers in line to get out, and I just walk by. Sometimes I see them; they're just looking at me like with hatred in their eyes, and I go, "What? You're not accused of theft yet? Just walk out, dude. If you didn't steal anything,
if they do come after you to accuse you, then I mean you've got your receipt there anyways. So
exactly, that's how I view it. You know, it's they have no right to detain me from a transaction that I just did. So if they actually think I stole, they have to think I stole, not have the suspicion that everybody might steal.
Right. They have to think that you yourself personally stole something. Not just other people steal stuff, so we need to check everyone.
No, and it's not like Costco or something like that where they're trying to make sure that you are a member and all this other fun stuff and everything like that. That's just part of that system. But when it comes to Walmart, I walk through. I don't care.
Oh. Yeah,
I do not care.
Absolutely. There's only one time that I've been stopped to ask for a receipt, and that was one time I bought this was a long time ago. I bought a video game from a store, which you know you don't really find them in stores anymore. But I bought a video game, and they had forgotten to take the security tag out of the box.
Oh yeah, yep.
So, you know, you walk through, the scanner beeps. So you know, I stop and, you know, the guy comes up, I show him the receipt and he's like, all right, have a nice day.
Yeah. Best Buy used to always ask for the receipt as you walked out too. Yeah. But it was quick. It wasn't like, Jesus Christ, at Walmart, some of these old people are actually reading their receipts and checking your bags. It's like,
yeah.
Leave me be.
You know, I can understand wanting to see the receipt, like if you see a big item, just to make sure that it's paid for and everything.
Oh yeah.
But you know, if they see one specific thing in the cart, maybe there's something that gets stolen a lot.
Yep.
If they see that in your cart, I could understand asking to see the receipt and just scanning for that one item on the receipt.
Oh yeah.
But I mean I've been to some places though where I've seen them stop people. They've never stopped me for some reason, but I've seen them stop people count the number of items on the receipt and then count the number of items in the cart.
Oh,
And I'm
Jesus.
like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're just delaying everything by doing this.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Now, almost 100% of the time, those people all went through the self-checkouts. So that could be the issue.
Well, then they need to stop doing the self-checkouts.
No kidding.
Freaking Walmart is horrible with those self-checkouts. They're stupid.
It really is, yeah.
Oh, it's like way too much. It's like, have a few more people.
Well, and the thing is that the self-checkout stuff doesn't really make it so anything goes faster.
No, it just leads to more loss on their end. It makes no sense to me.
No, it doesn't. I've never understood it from the time that they first put it out.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many people have so many problems with those where it like takes 20 minutes longer to get checked out than it would waiting in a line and then going through the cashier.
Yeah, sometimes it's that way. Just like if you're a whistleblower, sometimes you just blow your head off like everybody else. It seems to be the thing that people love to do when you're a whistleblower. So another one happened apparently. So it was an open AI whistleblower decided they say he allegedly committed suicide. It's what, this year there have been 3 people, 2 people at least that have committed suicide. They were whistleblowers, and then one just died in the hospital. Yeah. The open AI guy.
It's amazing how much. It's amazing how much your life expectancy goes down once you whistleblow. Yeah,
it's crazy. Your life expectancy goes to nil real quick. It's
from the time that you blow that whistle, it's like, all right, you now have a week to live.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit longer if you're lucky, but that's about it. Yeah, no, it's and this was all over just it was open AI, and he was basically saying that they stole copyrighted information and everything like that in their whole process, which, come on.
Yeah.
I think we all, how AI works, it just scrubs the internet. I'm sure there's some copyrighted stuff that has been gobbled up in that.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. So it's always funny how these whistleblowers just end up dead. Yeah.
It is amazing how life works sometimes.
Yeah, such a shock.
Yep.
Let's see here. What else we got? There's more of the United Healthcare stuff, but that's just like healthcare trying to come back, but also acknowledge how they messed up and everything like that. Try to blame everybody else and not themselves and everything. But
of course, yeah.
Yeah, it is beyond that. Not much more fallout from Jay-Z and whatnot, apparently. So apparently he may have he was accused of raping like a 13-year-old girl with Diddy.
Okay.
So Beyonce, it looks like her name changed in one article. It used to be Beyonce Knowles Carter, and then they just cut off the Carter, and now it was just Beyonce Knowles. So can't blame her, really. Yeah.
No, absolutely, yeah.
I wonder if that was on her side or if just the paper did it on purpose themselves. You never know. It's like, let's not tie Queen Bee onto that whole sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's never good. Never good.
No, it never is.
But what would be great is that if you guys could actually help us out. Here at the Mindless Meanderings, we use value for value model. This means that you are the producers of the show, and you can help us in many different ways. You can help us by sending us news articles that you want us to discuss. You can help out by creating art, jingles, or you could just send us your money. Your money helps very much. If you have any thoughts about our podcast or anything like that, you can also email me at jesse@mindlesssea.com, or you can email Jamin at mindlessmeanderings.com. And if you do donate to us. We will read email. If you send us an email, something that you want read over the airs, we will do that. And you will become a producer of the show. And that would be great. We would list you as a producer, and you could use this for forever. I would back you up until the day I die that you are producers of the show. And you can put that on your CV, resume, or anything like that. So please help us out. Any amount helps, from $1 to $300 to 50 cents. It doesn't matter. Anything will help. Nothing, Jamin? Nothing? You there?
So what is this? Yeah, what is this? Which generation is actually most sensitive according to science? What's that all about?
Basically, somebody decided to look at which generation is more sensitive, because, we always say that, like, the millennials are like the most sensitive, or Gen Z is the most sensitive, that sort of thing.
Isn't it really just each new generation is more sensitive than the last? That's how I've always looked at it.
No, what it actually is that it depends on your age. Everything is just, you go through life, and when you're young, you're more sensitive. When you get older, you've been through so much that you're desensitized to everything. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's kids. When I was a kid, kids were sensitive and everything like that. We had more of there are differences, because Gen X has always been more of a leave me the fuck alone sort of thing. But we had the sensitive types and everything like that as well. But we had everything that every generation has, and basically it was, the study just showed that is that
okay.
Yeah, that no matter what, your generation was just, look at the baby boomers and everything like that. They've just gotten old, so they're like all old people. Stay off my yard, that sort of thing. You go through these stages in life, and that's just what the generations are doing. It's
okay. So basically, the article, they didn't really discover anything new. They just kind of backed up what everybody else knew.
Yeah. It's basically backing up history, because these scientists need something to pay their bills, so they decided to come up with another study, even though we basically know what's going on with that. But no, it's like, one thing that is constant throughout human history is that every generation complains about the kids. Every generation. They don't know how to work. They're lazy, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
As long as people have had extra paper to write about children, they've complained about how crappy they are. No matter what. You go back to revolutionary days. They're complaining about those damn kids. It's just what it is. It's you're always complaining about the kids, and so the kids always get the heartache and everything like that. And yes, a lot of times, I remember as a child, I had like no work ethic or anything like that. I had jobs here or there, but if I lost a job, I didn't give a shit. I was like, okay, I'll find another one. Back and forth and everything like that. I once worked for this painter, like for a day. And he was like in it. He was like, this way. And I'm going, no, I'm out here, dude. Deuces. It's just not for me, And this is what you do as a child, as a kid, early 20s and everything like that. It's just part of the sequence of life.
Early 20s, there's no way in hell that I would ever see you doing something that was structured in a manner of, step-by-step type of thing.
No.
There's no way you would have put up with that.
Well, I barely put up with it now, It's like, we're kind of lucky that we're on 16 episodes of this podcast, Except for this is fun. This is actually entertaining. And I like to do this sort of thing, It's, Yeah. I also tried teaching, just a few years ago, and that just wasn't for me. It was, because it was regurgitating the same thing over and over and over and over again. I don't know, I had... In the span of like a year and a half, I had maybe about 20, 30 classes. Okay. All the same thing. And so I regurgitated it like sometimes 2 times a day, 3 times a
God, that would
day.
be so boring. That would be so
Yeah,
boring.
the only difference was the actual students and everything like that, which the students were
Right.
fine and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it just got boring to me. You know, it's
Yeah.
I like this where you do a bit of research and then you spout some crap about it, and
Yeah.
then you go back and find new stuff. I like the research
Yeah.
aspect, you know, and then talking about that
Yeah.
research and then moving on with my life. That's what I like to do. So it's
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is. I mean, that's literally what you trained for. I mean, you're a history major and all that. So, I mean, that is basically what you went to college for, was to research and everything else like that.
yeah. But some people like to take that history and then they like to just. Some people can teach, you know, it's one of those
Yeah.
things. Some people can do it and they love
Yeah.
to see the glints in people's eyes and everything like that. And
Yeah.
there are good students, bad students, a lot of students that didn't give a shit.
Well,
But
I mean, quite honestly, the venue and the topic that you were teaching, it wasn't something you were really interested in to begin with.
no, actually, at first I really loved it. I really did. It was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
But it was the research aspect of it.
But you really had no interest in cooking, and I mean, it was a cooking school, and you were teaching the history of cooking and stuff like that, if I remember right.
Well, it was world history, but with a that was tailored
On how it
towards
influenced food and stuff like that.
kind of sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
How food interacted with world history and everything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fine. It wasn't necessarily the topic, Jamin. It really wasn't. It was I had researched it to death.
Well, no, I'm not saying that the topic was
boring.
the problem.
Right.
I'm not saying that the topic was the problem. What I'm saying is that if it would have been a topic that was something that you were insanely interested in, like you were so interested in that topic, then I could potentially see you maybe having put up with it for longer. But since it wasn't the topic that you really had interest in, so you've never had an interest in food.
I understand.
If it would have been the history of beer and alcohol, you probably would have been all for it for quite a while.
Actually, that was part of it, Jamin. Jamin, part of it was the history of beer and
alcohol.
Just a small
part of it,
but no, Jamin. See, the thing I found out about myself is that I cannot hyper focus on just one topic, especially like historical topic. I cannot do that. I love politics, but politics is ever changing as we go through time. I can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once I learn something, I move on, and then it becomes boring to me. That's it. Doesn't matter what the topic is. It doesn't matter at all what the topic is. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So the topic wasn't.
See that.
Yeah, the topic wasn't the issue at all. So it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about schools and all that other stuff, did you going back into science? The Japanese scientists have discovered a way to regrow the adult teeth, I guess.
Well, that's cool. How do you do that?
Yeah, I guess there's a protein in the body that its only purpose. Now, I've seen two different things. I believe one of them is probably more accurate than the other one. One source said that it was a protein that inhibits bone growth.
Okay.
And the other one is that it's a protein that inhibits the tooth regrowth. I believe it's most likely the bone regrowth thing, because I don't think I can't see us having proteins just for teeth alone. I think it's just once you hit a certain age, your bones no longer grow.
Right. Yeah,
but I mean, it could be teeth regrowth. I have no idea which one of the two it is. But what this these 3 Japanese scientists have found, and they're currently clinically testing it in a couple of hospitals in Japan right now, is that by blocking this, they were able to cause the teeth to regrow in mice and ferrets and stuff like that. These are all animals that have the same type of progression with teeth that we have, where you have your baby teeth, you lose them, and then your adult teeth come in. And so they were testing it on mice and ferrets that had lost their adult, that their adult teeth were lost. Whether they pulled the teeth or they were naturally lost, I have no idea.
Right.
But by blocking this protein, they grew new teeth.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
And so that's currently in clinical testing right now in Japan. It started in September, late September.
Mm-hmm.
So of course there's no results or anything like that yet.
Right.
But they took 30 individuals between the age of 30 and 64 that had all lost at least one molar.
Uh-huh.
And they have given them the drug that's designed to block that protein. And they're just waiting on results now. So if it goes as well as it did with animal testing, during the animal testing they didn't see any side effects. They didn't see any problems.
Okay.
The only problems that I could ever see that I think that it would possibly be seen is, since it's a protein that blocks bone growth, I could see like bone spurs and stuff like that being caused by it or something. If I don't know. I've seen so many people talking about what potential downsides there are to it, and it's so amusing. Half of them are like, it's going to destroy their hearts, it's going to destroy their kidneys, and I'm like, they're just blocking this protein that inhibits bone growth. It shouldn't have anything to do with anything but the bones.
Hopefully, who knows?
Yeah,
that's why you do studies. You never know what.
Absolutely, yeah.
You never know what weird side effects can come about from anything, you know. And you have to make sure.
There's always the chemical that they're using to inhibit the protein that could cause issues somewhere else. So I mean, you never know. But yeah, so they're currently in testing. Like right now, after these 30 individuals, if they don't see any health issues, then they're going to start on their target audience, which is very young children, like 3 to 6 years old. I guess that there's some cases where the adult teeth don't fill in. Right. Once they lose their baby teeth, and so they're trying to cause the adult teeth to come in for those children. And the reason that they're targeting them at that young is because they found that once you get older, you're used to communicating the way you do, so it may sound a little bit different. Your S's may sound different if you lose a few teeth or something like that. Right. But in the ages of 3 to 6, it actually can inhibit the learning of how to say things.
No, I could see that.
And so it inhibits their communication massively. So they're trying to, what they want to focus on is eliminating that issue for young children. Okay. And the side effect is that for us adults, if we've lost our teeth, we could potentially regrow them instead of having to get dentures or implants.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. My son, he hasn't lost a tooth yet, and he's 7, so that's weird.
That is kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been waiting on the freaking tooth fairy for so long, and it's like his sister had so much money from the tooth fairy. She was buying all this stuff, and he goes, "I don't have any money." And she's still losing teeth, but he's not losing teeth. It's the craziest thing. I'm gonna have to check on that because it's 7 years old. It seems a bit weird, but who knows? I really don't know. But let's see here.
I don't remember when I started losing teeth, so I have no idea what's normal and what's not.
No, I don't either. But since my daughter started around like 4 or 5, but then she has a bigger head too. She has like my head, and then my son has more of my wife's head. So it's who knows? Who knows?
Oh, speaking of with that Japanese thing, there was one other comment that I saw that I found just hilarious. He's like, does that mean that if we lose one of our teeth and we get this shot, we may grow our wisdom teeth back, so we'll have to get those pulled again?
Oh, that would suck. I
know. I hadn't thought about wisdom teeth, but yeah.
Yeah, that would really suck. You know, that's like about
Yeah.
as much as the student, the UCLA student that's suing California doctors because she was fast tracked into the transgender surgery. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, she said that the doctors just it was all on the affirmative. So they were just affirming, you know, the affirming care that they say that
Yeah.
you need to do and everything like that. And
Right.
in this news story, she said that she experienced sexual abuse at a young age, at about 11. And so,
Okay.
because of that, she started struggling with the thought of becoming a woman, as in, like, she was afraid of
Right.
it, actually becoming
Oh
a
yeah.
woman and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
And so, she thought it would be easier if she was a boy. And so the doctors just ran with it and then just basically kept pushing everything on her and everything like that. Instead of getting a psychologist to actually talk to her about these
Yeah.
sorts of things, they basically
Yeah.
just pushed her through. I think there's going to be a
Yep.
lot more of these cases, and these doctors are going to have to be careful because you're dealing with
I.
minors.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
they have no control, they have no say, really. You know, you
Yep.
if you believe them, you really can't believe them because they can't actually enter into a contract or anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
It's like,
the other thing is that even if psychiatrists had gotten involved in the states where it's mandatory that you involve a psychiatrist,
uh-huh.
you only have to do like 3 visits with the psychiatrist before they can approve it, before they can approve the surgery. And I mean,
Yeah.
at that point in time, you're basically just telling the psychiatrist if they have an issue with their gender, just automatically affirm the transition.
Yep. 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 So, yeah,
It's insane.
this could really change things.
Well,
There's probably
hopefully
going
it
to be more
does.
of
It
these.
needs to be
So
changed.
yeah, no, and
Yeah.
I think it will. I think it will. Things will settle down and
Hmm.
everything like that. It's things have gone a bit crazy, but I think
Oh
things
yeah.
are
Oh
going to
yeah.
start settling down. Hopefully, at least you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've always thought that once you're 18 and you're officially an adult and you can sign a contract, you can do whatever the hell you want to.
yep, yeah. I don't care.
But
Yeah,
but if you can't legally sign a contract, you shouldn't be. There should be no doctor sitting there saying, "Well, we can do this for you."
yep. Yeah. Well, let's see. The only last thing I have is back to the drones. Looks like they want to give states the power to actually control drones and everything like that. So basically, put it under
Yeah.
the local law enforcement, to where they can actually have
Okay.
control over drones and everything like that. Because right now, that's pretty much just up to the FAA and
Right.
FCC or F. Yeah, I think FCC and FAA. I think it's only up to those two organizations. So I think there's a law
Why would it
going
be?
through that.
Yeah.
I think there's
I
just
was
a
going to
law
say,
going
why would
through.
it be
So
the FCC? But
communications. Uh,
yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, nah, it's because of the radio communication between the
yep,
control and the drone itself. So the FCC has to be involved.
yep.
Yeah,
So yeah, and then some people want, or the Homeland Security, Mayorkas, the secretary, he said he wants to give
yeah.
states the power to shoot down drones. Just drive along, and all of a sudden, a drone comes out of nowhere, right into you. Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the problem with that is that, first of all, any like the drones flying over New Jersey, if they have any government relation,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you try to shoot one of them down, the feds are going to be all over you. The
Yep.
military and everything like that are going to be all over you.
It's like, oops,
And if
that wasn't
it's,
a drone. That was a plane coming into land. Oops.
yeah, yeah. And if it's the private sector drones, I mean, it's not so much a case right now. I have seen some tests. I have seen reports that there are some test pilot programs and stuff like that for like delivery with drones and stuff
Right.
like that. But I mean, 5-10 years down the line, I could totally see Amazon not having a single driver because everything is delivered by drones.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, there's going to be so many drones in the air that you would never be able to just shoot them down willy-nilly.
Oh, yeah. 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 No. And with that, we would like to thank you for joining us for episode number 16 of the Mindless Meanderings podcast. I'm Jesse Fries.
And I'm Jamin Fries.
And you guys have a great day.